That's an amazing role to be there to nurture, there to nurture your drive, despite everything that's been done in your household.
You wouldn't be here without us.
Who are some women role models in my life and why?
My aunt,
my grandma, my mother, and then Tanya.
I would say, I know it's cheesy, but like my mom.
I have to say my mom, my mother.
Her personality and how she's always willing to be there for someone and show care for you even if she's not at her best.
being her niece, and she sacrifices so much and she does so much for me and going out of her way for me, like, that's amazing to me.
She like runs her own daycare, like she like does her own stuff, and like she did it all by herself.
The most inspiring person I've ever met.
Because she made me the woman I am today, and if I didn't say her, she'd kill me.
Misty Copeland. She was noticed as the first African-American principal ballet dancer, but also the fact that she's an African-American that's making moves, because dancers, especially African-Americans, they really don't see us being ballerinas or doing something that white people can do. And I think that's just very nice because it inspires young African-American like myself to be willing and know that we can do what others can do, and even better.
She's amazing, not only, and they're not using her as a typical woman, as usually when you use women, it's either oh, sex icon, or, something out of the box, but no, she's respected for her artistry.
I intend to direct someday, so I would go with Patty Jenkins, Ava DuVernay, Greta Gerwig. Women are killing it in the film industry nowadays, and I think that's so important. I think it's time.
There's the cinematographer who did the movie Black Panther. Her name is Rachel Morrison. She absolutely blew it out of the park. It was one of the first Marvel films to get that amount of recognition, and especially coming from a female filmmaker, which is what I want to be in the future or whatever. I think it's really interesting to kind of see somebody doing that and be wow, I could do that, and I just think that's really incredible for her to push and strive to do something in an industry that is so competitive, that women are out here doing that damn thing. So yeah. That is a really good question. I don't know. I really don't understand. My argument is always it's 2019. We're over all of this. We're about to hit the next millennium of the 20s. We're gonna do the 1920s again? No, we're gonna do the 2020s, and we're going to have everybody equal, because what's the point? What is the point of putting, who gives a fuck what's in her pants or whatever? It's about them, it's about their character, it's about their drive. And it's not about, what you identify as or whatever. It's about who you are inside and what you can give out to the world.
I believe women are treated as inferior in 2019 because of the patriarchal system established by men. The system has been around since the beginning of time, and it probably won't ever be eliminated until the end of time. But I feel as though we are rising to the occasion of taking down the patriarchy, down with the patriarchy.
Even as obvious as things as pay, women are being paid less in some areas than men, and they're working the same job. There are times where people will think that women can't do much because we're women, so we're automatically assumed as being weak. Oh, I can't pick this up, when yes, I can. So just stuff like that, areas in the work area, or even in school sometimes, where my voice is being quieted because they feel oh, what I might say isn't going to be good enough because I'm a woman. So.
I believe women are still treated as inferior in 2019 because we keep teaching our children, not just our boys but our girls as well, that girls are inferior. And if we're to change the world, we have to start young. We have to start with our children. We have to teach them that women are equal and can do just anything that a man can do, and that non-binary people can do anything that a woman or man can do, and that people of color can do anything that a white person can do. We need to start young.
Something I face in dance as a woman of color is that other people, the white Caucasians, can be seen as more graceful, whereas African-American women, we're very strong and dominant. So sometimes we might not get casted in roles because we don't seem as graceful or effortless, and that can be frustrating sometimes because someone can just look at me and make that decision because they see I have muscles instead of like trying to see my work ethics and who I am as an artist. I think something we can do to stop that is just accept everyone and just be open-minded. Look at the talent, not the person.
Some challenges I face as a woman in the art industry is there are certain authoritative positions that are usually male dominated, like for instance like directing. In the past a lot of directing and like production teams have been all like male based, but recently a lot of like teams, production teams, especially here or like on Broadway now, are geared towards females now.
What I would change is the pick rate, like, cause I know like as dancers, like there aren't really a lot of guy dancers, and like with being a dancer, I see that guys are more likely to get picked simply because they're guys and the industry needs more guys. So what I would like is for it to be like on a fair base, like pick the guy because you feel like he would be a great addition to whatever he's auditioning for. Don't pick him just because he's a guy and you see that he's strong and he can lift and you need guys. No, like pick it because like it's fair.
Just a lot of condescending men are what I face in the art industry, and I hate to say it. Makes it sound like I hate men, and I don't hate men. I just hate what they do sometimes. I hate that I'll make a suggestion, they go, actually. Like, please don't actually me, sir. I guess someone likes my answer. I just wish men would give me a chance to speak. I wish they would give all women in the arts a chance to speak for at least like 10 seconds without interrupting.
If I could describe the importance of women in one sentence, I would say that women are disciplined, dedicated, and determined.
Women are people, and people are important.
You wouldn't be here without us.
Divine patience, because we as women have this drive, despite everything that's being thrown at us and despite everything that's happening with women, we're pushing forward, and it's being more evident now more and more in this generation where we're all about women empowerment and all that stuff. It's growing rapidly, and I think divine patience, just patience and just understanding that the world has to run its course for us, and we will have our time, and we're in that time right now. Are you kidding? Like, it's incredible.